Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is part 2. I don't even know how part 1 got shut off, but we're gonna try this thing again. All right, so we are back. This is part 2 of how the workplace is the most dangerous place for a chosen one. I don't know what happened, but the video must have stopped. I don't know why, but let's continue. I don't know which part it shut off at. Again, it's early in the morning. I'm trying to put in some work before rain come down because it was raining like crazy in North Carolina yesterday, and severe thunderstorms and whatnot. And I figured let me come out early to do some work before the clouds start coming in and the rain fall down. So getting back to the case, because I don't know if I missed 10 minutes or 20 minutes worth of content. So I'm gonna try to start back where I was talking. The workplace, most dangerous place for a chosen one. It's the place where you're gonna get all of your challenges, and you cannot let the challenges break you down to the point where you are discouraged as a person. Challenges are gonna come. Supervisors are going to stress you. And if I can kind of give a recap, because again, I'm out in the street right now, so I don't know where the video cut off. I don't know if I missed a certain section because it just shut off. I think I forgot to turn off notifications from my Ring camera. So it shut the video off. So let me get back to the section where I was talking about how to deal with the supervisors, right? If I said this in the previous video, then it is what it is. But I want to kind of touch back on it because I don't know if it got recorded. But you're going to have supervisors, they're going to have power trip hungry. They're going to try to boss you around, tell you what to do, and so forth, right? This is going to happen if you talk too much. The way you deal with this, you just got to just do your job. Don't boast about being the best worker in front of your supervisor. Because if you do that, then guess what? They're going to challenge you. They're going to see if you really are about that life. So if you say, yeah, I'm the best worker at the company, I work fast, I this, I that, okay, he's going to challenge that. And he's going to give you a task that's going to see if you're really going to live up to the things you say. And if you keep this up, it can be stressful for you. Why? Because again, you are essentially working harder, and rather than smarter, you're working harder, because by you telling your supervisor how much of a great worker you is, you're gonna only be tested on that. We don't wanna have these tests, man. When you go to your job, you wanna do your 8 hours and go home. You don't wanna be there all day stressed. So limit the amount of talking you do in the workplace. Don't talk too much. Just do your job, go home, be happy. That's all you gotta do, fam, you know? Because if not, the supervisor are gonna take advantage of you, and they're gonna have you working and stressing you out. And they're gonna only call you. They're not gonna call no one else. And that truly lives up to the term chosen one. Why? Because they're gonna keep choosing you to do the job, because as most of you know, chosen ones are reliable people. They're the kind of people that will do the job. And not just do the job, but you're gonna do the job effectively. That's the difference between chosen ones and folks that are just there at the 9 to 5. A real chosen one does the job for real. And it can be stressful. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. I already had my time at the 9 to 5, never going back, because it's not the place for me. Especially at my age and this point in life, I'm just not doing that. You know what I mean? Not me. So it's just something for you to really consider, something for you to understand, because in life, this is something that we all go through. We're all gonna wanna know these things, And I need for you to really think about this, because if you don't learn your lessons, you're bound to repeat them again. This is why the 9 to 5 is so stressful for a so-called chosen one, because you're going to keep going through these tests over and over. And that's just with the supervisor. We haven't even gotten into the politics of with your coworkers yet. When it comes to the tests you're going to get from coworkers, it's going to get really complicated because they can be relentless. As I said in the last video, the coworkers that you have that you don't really interact with are going to be the most challenging, because number one, they don't even like you. I'm just being honest with you. The coworkers you don't interact with on the 9 to 5 normally don't like you. As soon as they see you, they don't like you. Don't ask me why, I just know. The workers who you hang around, some of them you might be cool with, and some of them are snakes that are gonna bite eventually. It's just how you carry yourself. Know how to play the game, because the tests are gonna come and you have to pass the test. If you don't pass the test on the 9 to 5, you're gonna be so stressed out. You're gonna come home tired all the time. You're gonna be miserable. And we don't want you to be miserable. We want you to be able to go to your job, come home, relax, be at peace, and everything is good to go. But again, if you don't pass these tests dealing with people, you're gonna repeat it over and over again. And it's gonna really mess you up, man. It's gonna mess you up inside. Because here's the thing. Let's say you work in retail, right? Or you work at a fast food spot, or in a place where you have to interact with people. The customers are gonna stress you out. The customers are gonna challenge you. And it can be very, very frustrating. Trust me. Because they're gonna be calling managers, they're gonna be calling supervisors, and they're gonna be lying on you. So now you gotta deal with false allegations. He said, she said. This is why the 9 to 5 is very frustrating for a chosen one. Very, very frustrating. In most cases, I wouldn't even want you to be there, but I understand that you have to at times. Sometimes you have to be there because, again, we have to work, we have to provide, we have to do what we got to do to support our families. But at the same time, it's not meant for you to be there for the rest of your life, because you're going to be frustrated all your life. You're going to be growing gray hairs, and there's nothing wrong with gray hairs. I'm using that as an analogy where you're going to be growing old pretty fast because of the stress, right? Let me check this camera, make sure everything is good. Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we still good. All right, we still good. All right, so the job, the most stressful place for a chosen one. Solutions. How do you deal with the negative spirits in the workplace? Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. The way you're gonna have to deal with that is, number one, you can't live in fear of people. Yes, when you're on the 9 to 5, you're gonna be dealing with all sorts of crazy people, man. Crazy coworkers, crazy customers. You're gonna be dealing with all the stress. But the way you deal with it is you have to have a positive outlook on life. You have to have a positive vibe, a positive spirit to understand that, hey, I'm here to do my job, and then I'm going home. I'm going to do my job, and then I'm going to go home. But if you go there with a spirit that want to challenge people, that want to argue with people, you're going to fail the test. And you're going to find yourself having to repeat the same cycle all over again. Why? Because you're not overcoming. You want to go toe to toe. How many of you argue with people at the job? Damn near about to fight your coworkers. That's crazy. Now you're getting written up. Now you're getting called into the office. Now you're getting these memos. It's very stressful. And remember, your job is your livelihood. So you cannot allow spirits, demonic spirits, people to cause you to lose your livelihood. That's crazy. So you got to protect yourself at all costs. Again, when you're at your 9 to 5, right? I'm not there to argue with people. I'm not there to fight with supervisors and coworkers. I'm at this job to do my job. That's it. That's how you got to have your mind set. When you get up in the morning to go to work, I'm not going to work to fight people. I'm going to work to do my daily labor so I can earn my wage, pay my bills, take care of my family. That's how your mind got to be set. Also, when you're at the 9 to 5, even though you're working to do what you got to do to take care of your family, you also have to have in your mind, I'm not going to be here long. This is only for a short period of time till I get on my feet, and then I'm moving on to do something bigger and better and make more money, you know? Because here's the thing. If your job becomes so stressful that you're growing gray hairs, you're complaining about, oh, I'm not making enough money, then it's not a place you need to be at much longer. You're gonna have to figure this thing out. Meaning, I cannot stay at a place and I'm not making the money I deserve, right? If you're working and working and working and you're not seeing no benefits, you're not at the right place. It's time for you to go. But before you go, you have to have a plan on what you're gonna do. Because why? Look, we have to look at this thing reasonable, right? I understand you may not want to be there because of the stress, but you still got a family to take care of, right? You still got bills, you still got responsibilities. So before you get emotional about the job, you got to look at, okay, I'm stressed out, the job is crazy, not making enough money, but you got to plan out strategy on how to improve your bottom line. So if you know you're not making enough money the way you want, you got to figure out other ways to bring in some cash, right? Before you quit that job, you got to figure this stuff out. You don't leave your job if you haven't figured out other ways of making money, because now you're going to put your family in a situation where everybody's going to be struggling. And that's the last thing we want, right? Because as a man, as a woman, stress is a big killer. Stress is the number one killer that kill all people. It's stress. So being stressed out is not gonna help you at all. This is why, me personally, I factor in on my peace more than anything. If I'm stressed, I cannot work. See how I'm able to just get up early and just start taking business with my content? It's because I'm not stressed out. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not concerned with nothing. I got a job to do. I got things that I got to fulfill. And this is very important to me. And because it's very important to me, I get up early in the morning, I get right to work, I get the content, do what I got to do, because that's what a man is supposed to do, right? And then I focus on other responsibilities throughout the day. I have no one to blame but me if it don't work out. So if you're at the 9 to 5 and you are stressed, right? And you want to move forward, you want to leave, before you make that decision, right? You got to look at all the opportunities that are before you that can earn you money. Because you don't want to leave a job because it's stressful and now you don't got nothing, you know what I mean? Because now you're going to be more stressed out. So it's very important before you make that decision to think about your family first, think about the bottom line, your bills, your expenses, personal debts, things that you owe, and you look at, okay, how much money is coming in, and if I was to quit, do I have enough money in my savings, right, that can sustain me for about a year? Sometimes that's what you need, a year, to kind of cool off, to kind of get back on track. Because I can understand the stress that a lot of you got with your 9 to 5, a lot of issues, dealing with a bunch of spirits, and you just need a break. You know what I mean? You just need time away. So if you don't have a savings of at least a savings of 50,000 in the bank, right? Don't quit your job. Don't quit your day job, fam. Don't do it. Now, if the stress at your job is really mentally bothering you to the point where you feel like you're having a nervous breakdown and you got at least 10 bands in your bank account saved, then by all means, it's time to go. It's time to leave that company, because when your job, right, messes with your mental health and it's to the point where you're losing your cool, that is when you need to leave the job, because it could be a situation where you might end up hurting somebody. And we don't want you to end up on the news and then you're in prison because you did something dumb. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a brother or sister or any man, woman, and you're stressed out on the job and you feel like you're on the edge, right? And you have at least 10 grand in the bank, 20 grand saved up, I suggest you leave, because it's an emergency at this point. Your mental health is very important. And if people are really, really stressing you out to the point where you're about to become a time bomb, it's time to leave, right? And you'll know when it's time to leave. Some of you go to the bathroom at the job and you literally, some of you are doing this, you did this. Put a 1 in the chat if you actually did stuff like this, where you literally go in your bathroom, the restroom at the job, and talk to yourself in the mirror, telling yourself, this ain't the place for me. I gotta go, I gotta leave. Well, if you find yourself doing that, it's definitely time for you to leave that job. Trust me, it is time for you to go. So, hey, all I gotta say is, I know the level of stress a lot of you may be under, but as chosen ones, we are equipped to go to the next level. We're equipped to ride out the storm. We're equipped to make the right decisions. But if you're allowing demonic spirits and people and other aggravation to really stress you to the point where you hate people and you don't like this, and if you find yourself talking like that, oh, I hate my job, I hate this, it's time for you to leave that job, because it's gonna get really bad soon, So that being said, I might do another part if you want a part 3 for this particular series. If you want me to just continue the series with the workplace, then we can go into part 3, part 4 or 5, and really talk about more details, because there's a lot of things in the workplace that is affecting people. And if I can speak on all of those issues, it'll be better for all of you, because everybody have different things that they're challenged with. And I might do another video right after this one. I might stop this one and start up another one, because so far we got 2 videos. I'm trying to go for at least 3 so that I can kind of put in the work that I need for the day. Then I can focus on other things, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go into part 3 and try to deal with more solution base for the situation. Or I could just keep talking. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I find that the shorter the video, the better it is. But again, the workplace, the most challenging place for you right now is in the workplace, because that's where you're gonna have all of your battles, all of your challenges, you're gonna have all the tests, it's gonna be in the workplace. That's where you're gonna have it at. That's where people are gonna try and prove who you really are. So it's important for you to cultivate patience, because without that, you're not gonna be able to cope with all of the issues, man. You know how many people are stressed out in the workplace right now? They can't even think. Some people gotta drink after work. They gotta go to sit in their car. They don't even wanna talk to nobody because the workplace environment is so stressful for them. We don't want you to get to that point. You need to be at peace, and you need to cultivate that even in the workplace. Even though it's very difficult for you to get away from the negative energy, you gotta know how to adapt to the environment, or else it will destroy you. That's the most challenging place for a chosen one, is the workplace. Trust me, every last one of you are gonna deal with this nightmare. And man, if you can overcome the workplace, you can pretty much do about anything. You can beat the game, you can win, you can overcome any obstacle in life if you are able to overcome the workplace. I really believe that the 9-to-5 grind is the testing ground for all chosen ones to prove whether or not we are really true. And once you graduate from the workplace, then now the Most High will begin to use you in a special way in other areas of your life. But you must overcome these spirits, these attacks, and all of it will come through people. So understand that. So I'm gonna go sign out. I'm gonna go start up another video. Again, if y'all want me to continue the series of the workplace, let me know in the comments, right? I'm gonna put a little text in the comments and pin it. And if you want me to make more content like this, let me know. Remember, when you let me know, that's motivating me to put in the work. You know what I mean? Remember, I'm doing this for you guys. So if these videos is really helping you, you gotta let me know which videos is really resonating with you. That way I can make more of those kinds of videos, right? So we're gonna go pretty much sign off. I got a list of videos to do. I kid you not. I have literally a list of videos that I gotta do. I have them all down on paper, what topics I gotta cover. So I'm out here working, fam. It is what it is. And I'm getting my workout in too. So I'm gonna go start up another video. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.